All about IBM MQ in under 5 minutes. What is MQ? What is messaging? MQ is, in a nutshell, email for software programs. Email is an asynchronous form of communications as opposed to a procedure call, which is synchronous communications. Now, don't get nervous about engineering terms like synchronous and asynchronous. You all know what they are. A telephone conversation is synchronous. I call you. If you're on the other end, we have a conversation. If you're not, no talking takes place. The mail, as in snail mail or email, does not require the other side of the conversation to be present at the time you create the message and send the message. You take your letter to the post office or the mailbox, you put it in, you walk away. At some other point in the future, that mail is delivered to the recipient. That's asynchronous communications. Wow, fancy word for simple topics. That's what we academics do. So email, just like MQ, asynchronous. That's a small help to software and not the major reason why MQ is so popular. But let's take a second and look at the advantage of asynchronous communications. The network's down, you can still send your message. It'll get there when the network comes up. The server's down on the other side, you can still send your message. The application software on the other side isn't running, doesn't matter, you can still send your message. So there's some obvious advantages for asynchronous types of communications. MQ really shines, however, on the things it can talk to. Mainframe OS, Windows platforms, Unix, all the Unix flavors, Linux, iSeries, Tandem, some other specialized hardware. IBM MQ talks to a lot of hardware platforms. Moreover, it talks to a lot of runtimes on those platforms. Batch on the mainframe, shells on Unix, application servers running Java, CICS, lots of different runtimes support MQ, which means your software can be pretty much running anywhere and have access to MQ. And that software can be pretty much written in any language. MQ supports C, COBOL, Java, RPG, and on and on. Lots of support for MQ. So pretty much anything written anywhere can talk to something written someplace else via MQ. Makes software design and integration very easy. Furthermore, MQ does some standard cross-platforms kind of things. If you're running on the mainframe and you want to talk to a distributed system, MQ will do all of the character set translation for you from ABCDIC to ASCII and back, so that you don't even have to worry about that at the application level. So that's really nice. You don't have to take care of data translation. You don't have to worry about network issues or unreliable networks. You don't have to worry about how or what the runtime on the other side is or what language it's written on. So all of those are really wonderful features. Plus, MQ is ridiculously easy to program. You have to open a queue, then you can read or write from the queue, and then you close it. It's exactly like working with a file. So most programmers are very comfortable with that API. And the API for MQ is constant across most of the programming languages. There's obviously some variations between a procedural language like C and an object-oriented language like Java, but if you know MQ in one language, if you can program in another language, your MQ skills translate right over. So super easy to program, pretty much talk to anything, anywhere, anytime, without having to deal with the errors. Lots of nice features. That's MQ in a nutshell.